What up, gangery? We back at it with my second video right here. Guess what we got today? Popeyes. Puro Popeyes. Crazy thing is, I used to work at a Popeyes. I actually worked at two different Popeyes. I know how the setup is. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Oh, biscuit down, biscuit down. I got the 3 spicy tenders. I can't be too fat today, because yesterday's burrito, oh boy, I was sitting down for a minute. 6 wings, ghost pepper flavor. Take a look at that. Oh, wing fell out, gotta eat it. I'm gonna turn my light down. Oh. See, when I worked at Popeyes, they didn't have wings when I worked at Popeyes. And did you know that if the bone is black like that, it's because it's been frozen? Food for thought. I think. And I got the what is it? The ghost pepper sandwich with bacon and cheese. That ghost pepper sauce on there. We'll take one bite of this because, you know, we gotta save room for the rest. Mmm. Mmm. And you already know, they did not give me napkins, but I'm a McDonald's kind of guy, so I got a couple of McDonald's napkins. This ghost pepper sandwich, though, delicioso. You already know what I got to wash her down. Anybody ever seen that show, Rob Dyrdek? Rob and Big? Back in the day, they said, muchacha sucia, sucia, dirty girl. Because you got to wash her down. Only one no drinks. Mike's harder for the win. I asked for no pickles on this. And, you know, they still give me pickles. Mmm. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. We got black and ranch. The first time I worked at Popeyes, I was like 16, I think. It was like my first real hourly job. Before that, I used to throw newspapers, and it was by piece. I get like, I think it was like 14 cents a house or something like that, like per newspaper. And my route was kind of big, so it was crazy. But my first official job on paper with the work permit at 15 years old. It was throwing newspapers for a couple cents a house, and I think I used to get like $60 a week or something, and I only had to do it on Thursdays. So being in high school, 9th grade, it was like my mom, thank God to my mom, and I appreciate my mom. My mom used to literally pick me up because my high school was across the street from the neighborhood that I used to go to. I mean, my high school that I used to go to was across the street from the neighborhood where my route was. So I had a 30-minute lunch. So I'd get out of lunch on Thursday specifically. I would skip lunch and I would just go to the edge of the school because we had an open campus. And my mom would pick me up in her Jeep and we'd open the back doors and I would just sit there throwing newspapers for lunch for 30 minutes. And I'll knock it out in like 20, 30 minutes. Sometimes she'd bring me food and stuff. So shout out to mom for that. But that was like my first official job. My very first hustle was selling snow cones to the kids in the neighborhood for $1. My mom bought a snow cone maker and she bought a couple juices, like the little flavoring thing. And I don't know where I got the idea, but I invited some people to my house. I think I was playing at the park. And I was like, hey, I got snow cones, but you got to give me $1. And I started selling snow cones. So that was my first official hustle. And that's kind of how I started, like, entrepreneurship, I guess you can call it. But snow cones was my first one. Newspapers was my second. And my third one, Popeyes. So I used to live in Alaska. And I used to work at Popeyes. On the military base. Anybody that knows me, and that's the homie, then now I used to bless the boxes. I ended up getting fired from that Popeyes. I didn't get fired. They put me under investigation because it was part of a food court. So I don't know what kind of deal they had going on, but they put me under investigation. They come into the back office and was like, oh, we see that you did a couple of transactions. I never stole any money, but I was giving my friends food because in Alaska, where the food court was, like at the mall, I guess you can call it, for people that don't know, but it was like the PX, the Post Exchange on Fort Wainwright. It was literally next, which is like a Walmart. You can go buy food, clothes, like groceries, like a food court. They had clothes, bags, everything. It's like a Walmart, really, on a military base. Excuse me. And that was located right behind the PFC, not the PFC, the gym, the military gym, the gym where all the soldiers would play. I'm a dependent, or I was a dependent. I guess you can say I am, but I was a dependent. And the gym, we used to go to the gym and play basketball, me and my friends. And sometimes when I couldn't go play basketball, it was because I was working, and my friends would come to the food court. And they would get food, and I bless them. They get a 5-piece tender. Say they get a 3-piece tender. I'm gonna put in like 8 to 12 tenders in there for each person. So how I didn't get caught sooner is beyond me. But yeah, I was hooking the homies up. There was this one time where it was 8 pieces of chicken for $5.99. It was either 8 tenders or 8 pieces of bone-in chicken. And I think my homies came. I think it was 4 of them. It was Chance, may he rest in peace. Jared, Fro, and I think Anthony Shower. He had long arms. His arms are so long they pass his knee. He could touch his knee without bending down. But anyway, I think that's the one that got me caught up. I think they were already on my tail, but I think that, like, that's the one they showed me, like, oh, we saw you giving food to other people. Chance was already burnt because he worked in 2 different restaurants, I think, if not one. But he was already burnt. So, like, the security already knew who he was because he already worked at that food court. And then Fro also worked at the food court, too. He worked at the Manchu Walk next door to us, next to the Popeyes. So, it was like a bunch of familiar faces. So, like, they already knew, like, what was going on. And they, like, zoomed in on me, like, putting, like, 15 pieces of chicken in a box. And they called me to the front office and was like, oh, you're going to have to pay, like, $84. I think it was a food that I stole, which I guess you can say I did steal it. It was like $84, and they put me under investigation. And I already heard that if you get put under investigation, after you pay them the money back, they're going to fire you. So what I did was I quit. I never paid them none of the money. And I went to work at Subway because at the time, I think Subway was like a subcontractor, or they had their own, like, contract. So I was, thinking I'm smart. So I went to go work at Subway. It was a pay deduction. I got paid less. I think back in 2014 or 2013, I think I was making like $17 an hour at Popeyes. And then I went to Subway, and I think I made like 14 or something. But they had benefits. They had like free food every day. When I worked at Popeyes, we'd only get 50% off our meals. So before they could fire me, I went and got another job at Subway. And it worked out pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. Until the forbidden blizzard happened. Let me know in the comments, do you prefer flats or drumsticks? Me personally, I like flats. Give me a 12 piece fried hard flats with lemon pepper and buffalo. Ooh, I'm happier than a lot of people on this earth. They're a little spicy. They're a little the ghost pepper. Ooh. It's a little seasoning, so they probably have granulated ghost pepper in there. Let's talk back to this sandwich though. Oh, it's burning more than the Chipotle burrito I ate yesterday. Man. Let me guess. Oh, never mind. I was really bad when I worked at Popeyes. I was really bad about not putting utensils in there. Napkins, I always did it because they were like right next to where you packed the food. But utensils were like under the cabinet, so I'd always forget it. We'll see. The mac and cheese. Oh, my mouth is burning. Ah! Oh. If you're a fast foodie, you know that Popeyes, I think it was corporate stores only. Franchises stopped selling mac and cheese. The cost got too high for the owners, so a lot of owners, Popeyes franchise owners, they stopped selling mac and cheese. But the one that's close to my house now, they got mac and cheese. So there must be a corporate store or something, because every time I walk by there, I go there, everybody's really nice. They have their uniforms on. That was a problem at my store. A lot of people had like dingy ass uniforms, like the one I managed here in Vegas, they had dingy uniforms. They didn't just care. I don't know if we didn't get paid enough. I was making like $12 an hour as a manager, making orders. I was doing the drive-through, and making orders, I mean like ordering stock. And I was getting paid like $12 an hour, and I think that's when I was like, I'm taking a lot of responsibility for not a lot of pay. So I pretty much told him fly a kite. And here I am now. But Popeyes stays near and dear to my heart. When I used to work at Popeyes, excuse me, I used to get the spicy breast, and I'd get a biscuit tray, like where we bake the biscuits, and I'll put spicy breast on top of the biscuit tray. Not on the biscuits, but the thing you use to cook it with. And I'll put it in the biscuit oven, and I'll leave it there for like 12 minutes, 13 minutes. And I'll smash some skinless chicken breast. Oh my God, that was the best time of my life. I used to smoke, but I used to tear down 2 or 3 breasts every shift with a cup of just the white rice from the red beans and rice. Put a little bit of that Cajun sparkle on there. Woo-wee! A lot of talking, a little bit of eating. Wait. I ate 2 wings or 3. There's the bench from 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. I thought I was tripping. I'm about to go back and be like, yo, you guys only give me 5 wings. The heck is going on? I don't know if you can hear the crunch, but man, they're crispy. That little nerve right there, I don't really like it. A lot of people like it, but I don't know. It's creeping me out. One thing about me, I'm going to tear it down every time. It's baked beautifully. Look at that. This happens because after they serve it, it sits under a heater, and the heater bakes the top of it. They don't put it in the oven. To be honest, all this comes out of a bag, pre-made. They just put it in boiling water, like a big tank that has like slots enough for like, I think like 12 bags of like boiled beans, already cooked beans, mac and cheese. The white rice, you do have to do it. And they stopped making the Cajun rice, but it was just the white rice with added seasoning. So like all this, it's not made. I mean, it's not like freshly made. This is all preheated. It bombed though. Let's get to the good stuff. I mean, it's all good. I got the 3-piece tender. Spicy, of course. I just bust the box open because ain't nobody got time to be dipping their little hands in there. We bust it open. It's a trick I learned when I was working there. Just open it up, and it's going to be a tray just like this. Oh, my nose is running. Gonna get the hot sauce. Yep. Okay. Excuse me. Just pour it all over all the tenders. It's like almost like a buffalo tender, but it's a Louisiana tender. They didn't put no butter in the hot sauce. The hot sauce here is better than the buffalo sauce. I'll be frank with you. Huh, you get that? I'll be frank with you. So you do that. You make a mess with it. Then you get this. A lot of people don't even know about this. Cajun sparkle. Salty. So if you like salty fast food, this is what you need right here in your life. You drizzle it on there. You got to put the hot sauce first because then the Cajun sparkle won't stick. And my favorite thing, a lot of people love the black and ranch. I don't really like the black and ranch. I like it, but I think I ate so much of the black and ranch when I used to work there the first time that I got burnt out from it. So now my favorites are Mardi Gras mustard, which is like a Dijon mustard, and the sweet heat. It's so good. It's like almost like an Asian chili type of vibe. So like that's kind of what it looks like. So then I sometimes, like, I don't know, I just get carried away with it. Just the mustard. It never ceases to amaze me. I think I've added Mardi Gras mustard more than black and ranch, and I don't get tired of it. I don't know, it's weird. She's dripping. Look. Just crunchiness. Just flour. It's really crunchy today. So the batter, it's made out of some package that's dry, and you add a hell of water to it, and you mix, and that's the batter. A lot of places use like egg batter or whatever. It may be dehydrated eggs, but it's like a white package like this. My dad's friend Danny used to ask me like, hey, can you give me some of that batter and that seasoning? But I remember one time this guy used to work there, his name was Henry. He was like, I bet you $20 you want to eat a spoonful of it. And like a spoonful is like, you know, like a spoon, little tiny spoon. And I was like 15 at the time. I think, 16 at the time. I was like, shit, bet I will. I bet you won't, I bet you won't. And it was at the end of the day. So like hella raw chicken had already been put into that batter. And I was like, man, $20, I'll do it. All right, do it. He gives me the spoon. I dip it in there and I take a bite. I'm like, yeah. And I Ralphed. He's laughing so hard, and he sees me Ralph. He starts Ralphing. So we're two Ralphing son of a guns right there, and we're just Ralph. It was disgusting though. It was the saltiest. Oh, excuse me. Saltiest, nastiest thing I ever tasted in my whole life. Like, to this day, I think oysters don't even beat that one. It was disgusting. I think I even got sick to my stomach. I was like pooping for like 2 days, like really badly. But it is what it is. What it is. I did that. Mm. The wings are gas packed. I got a burp, but it feels stuck. If you haven't tried Popeye's wings, take your ass down there to the nearest Popeye's and get you some Popeye's wings. Man. These wings, it pisses me off when people dip their whole wing in ranch. Why'd you even get a wing flavor, bro? But these wings right here, no sauce, no ranch, no nothing. Bellissimo. Fire. And the hella crunchy. These are the ghost pepper. I gotta get the bang for my crunch. Ugh. They're a little spicy, I ain't gonna lie. So you can handle spicy, you're probably not gonna want these. They're spicy, like I could eat some spice, but this is not like for like people that don't eat spice. Like if you don't eat pepper, ground pepper on your food, yeah, this is not gonna work for you. But it tastes really good. Your butthole might be burning later, but hey, who knows? Look at that. The tenders. Genuinely and realistically, I can eat tenders like from Popeyes if they're made right 3 days a week. That's saying a lot because I got a short attention span. Mardi Gras, Sweet Heat. Sweet Heat. That's it for the tenderonis. One wing. And like 2 bites or 3 bites of a sandwich. I don't know what the heck that was. They are crunchy. In season. They're really, really seasoned. Thing about me is I like spice, I just don't like when it comes out. Woo-wee. Excuse me. Looking back on it now, it's hot. That's it. If I put this last 2 bites down, it's not going to be pretty. The biscuit is not going down either. Dry ass biscuit. Everybody and their mama knows that Popeye's got dry biscuit. I'm not even trying to walk into that battle. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you guys stopping and watching me eat. I be bored sometimes and I like to try new things, so I ran out of napkins. Drop a comment, suggest something other than the basic fast foods that everybody eats. If you're in Vegas or you're in the Vegas area or you watch reels from popular restaurants, tag them or comment the name of them and I'll go try them out. With that being said, if you're coming to hate. If you're coming to like it. And if you're coming to subscribe so you can see the journey of my life, because I'm going to start posting videos about work, my life, maybe not so much my kids, but my eating for sure. Drop a subscription. Love you guys. You guys be safe.